Hey everyone, this is Rick Theriault, your Maine real estate guide, and today I'm on location in the town of Levant, Maine, at 38 Deer Ridge Lane. And what we've got coming to market today is a beautiful log home situated on 3.38 surveyed acres of land on Deer Ridge Lane. And the home was originally built somewhere, and it's in very great shape. It's 1,052 square feet. It's got 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, a 2-car attached garage. It's got a private well and septic system, and it's in a nice private country setting here on Deer Ridge Lane. So with that property is coming to market at $315,000. So let's take a little closer look at the property. We're going to start out here on Deer Ridge Lane. We're going to walk around the house, then we're going to go in the house, we'll check it all out, the good, the bad, and then we'll wrap her up. So stay tuned. So Deer Ridge Lane is a private gravel road. You have a right-of-way. There's no homeowners association out here, no road association. And so it's in good shape, but the people that are here, they just kind of chip in. If it needs to be graded, they do a little grading work, or they fill in a pothole. And they kind of take care of it amongst themselves. There's a couple of people that get a drag and a tractor and whatnot, and they take pretty good care of it. But it's a nice gravel road, pretty solid. This is early spring, so it's still showing some wear from the winter. But it's dead ends up here, so you don't have a lot of through traffic. But you do have some neighbors. Everyone's got a nice lot with 3-4 acres. So you're spaced apart, very nice. This is surveyed. There's 150 feet of road frontage here on Deer Ridge Lane. Here's one of the pins. We'll head up to the other pin. Now, one of the things that I'm really impressed with is it's being in the town of Levant. Levant's a town, not a real large community, about 3,200 residents live in Levant. I live in a town of a little better than 4,200, but here you actually have trash pickup. I don't even have trash pickup where I live. So they don't come right to your house. You have to go to the end of Deer Ridge Lane and leave your trash there because, again, this is a private road, but it comes off of Doughty Avenue, and down there, that's where you'll have your mailbox, and that's where you leave your trash. And they pick up trash on Mondays, but trash pickup is provided by the town of Levant. It's pretty sweet. And over here is where your other pin is. So again, this is 3.38 surveyed acres. Most of it is wooded, except for where the house sits. We got a nice gravel driveway leading up to the 2-car attached garage. This is a great opportunity for a ranch-style log home, one-level living that's in really great shape. Again, the home was originally built around 2000. The metal roof was put on in 2021, so it's a pretty fresh metal roof. It's got this beautiful covered porch. Very expansive, goes the whole length of the living portion of the home. It's nice and deep. And the great thing about a covered porch in Maine is you don't have to shovel it. I spend a tremendous amount of time. I've got a big deck on my house, and I spend a tremendous amount of time shoveling in the wintertime, shoveling the deck. Here with a covered porch, these folks said they never had to touch it once with a shovel this past winter. So that's fantastic. It's been freshly painted. I noticed on the stairs they even use textured paint, so if they get a little dew on them, they're not going to be slippery. It's got textured paint on there. So let's head back around back. Now the logs on this home this has been freshly power washed and the stain touched up, and it's really pretty. It's got kind of a translucent, semi-translucent cedar colored stain, and it's in very good shape. The color really pops. Looks really nice. Now here in the back, this is where your drilled well is. You get a doghouse entry into the basement. It's got a full poured concrete basement. We'll head down there in a minute. But again, you can really see that color really looks, especially as the grass greens up, it's just beautiful. It just glows. Your septic system for the home is over here, would be about where the tank is. Kind of looks like the shape of a tank right there, with your leach field out beyond. Your electric comes in underground to this property. Here's your meter. Then it goes down, and down in that corner is where the 200 amp service is. We'll check that out. It does have a mini split heat pump. It also has a wood stove, and the primary heat source is a hot water baseboard boiler. So with log homes, you either like them or you don't. So if you're a fan of log homes and you're a fan of wooden interiors, you'll be a fan of this, because I couldn't find any drywall inside of this property at all. So let's check before we head inside, let's take a closer look at the underside of this covered deck area. It's been freshly, what was here before was just the exposed stringers, and that's all been trimmed up. I put nice metal in there to make it nice and clean. You don't have many places for spiders to make spider webs and birds to make nests and those sorts of things that you would have to clean up if your stringers were left exposed. So that's really nice. I think if I lived here, right in this area here, I'd have a wooden swing that I could sit on and have my coffee in the morning. How about you? Would you put a swing there and sit out there in the morning and listen to the birds chirp and enjoy your cup of coffee? What would you do? So let's step inside 38 Deer Ridge Lane. So you come in off the deck area. You enter into really the great room. So this is a beautiful family room. And again, if you're a fan of wood, you'll be a fan of this. If you're not a fan of wood, well, this probably isn't your property. But it's got beautiful hard pine flooring here in the majority of the home. And it's in really good shape. I love how it's got that knotty pine. Gives a lot of character. The walls of the home are log. And the manufacturer of this log home is actually about 15 minutes away. They've been in business a long time, so if you needed some material for repair or whatnot, it's really close by. Even the ceiling is knotty pine. And in the great room, all the way up to the peak, it's got to be close to 14 feet, if not 14 feet, up to the peak. So you get a great open, warm feel. That's what I like. I live in a wooden house, and wood, that's wood on the inside and wood on the outside. Mine's not a log home, but I love the feel of wood. It's just comforting. So coming in off the main entry, kind of the foyer area, they have a nice brick, and this is actual brick. This isn't faux brick. This is an actual bricked chimney and hearth area with a functional wood stove. The folks that lived here, they utilized the stove through the winter months here to help with the heating. And in Maine, burning firewood in the wintertime is a prudent measure. They burned 2 cord of firewood, which isn't very much, and you could, with 3.38 wooded acres predominantly, you could cut all your own firewood here if you wished. So this is the kitchen dining room area. Again, everything, this is a nice open floor plan. It really flows nice. It has custom hardwood cabinets. I think they're hickory. I am not sure of but they look hickory to me, but they were custom made for this home when it was originally built. It does have a brand new Bosch dishwasher. The electric range is a little older, as is the refrigerator, but the dishwasher is new. It has this little pantry cabinet that was made by the same manufacturer that made the kitchen counters and cabinets. So you got storage of some of your groceries, items, and whatnot. Off of the kitchen area, here's where your half bath is. And again, there's not a stitch of drywall in the interior of this house. This is all knotty pine or log. Got a washer and dryer. The vanity and the vanity mirror and the lighting in here, as well as the toilet, were all brand new as of last fall. We'll continue the interior of the house and then head out into the garage and then down into the basement. This would be your guest bedroom. It's currently being utilized as an office space. In here, as well as in the primary bedroom, you have carpet, and it's got a nice plush backing. You can feel it nice and soft when you walk on it. You can feel it in your feet. It's got a nice closet. And all the windows in this home are very large, and they let in a lot of nice natural light. So this is the main bathroom. The flooring in here is a laminate, and that was laid last fall, as well as again in here, the vanity and the sink and the toilet are all brand new, as well as the lighting as of last fall. And you get a new shower tub enclosure in here as well. Now the primary bedroom is nice and large. I think this is, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a king. If not, it's a full queen for sure. And there would be room for a king. Yeah, that's probably a queen. It's a queen. But again, you got these very tall ceilings. Got double closets, his and her closets in the primary. This is a great place to gather right here at the end of the day. Kick back and watch something on the big screen here. This is where your mini split comes in. These folks haven't utilized this for heating at all, although you could. They've used the wood stove and the hot water baseboard as their heat source. They did utilize that for some cooling during the warmer months of the year last year, and that's probably the biggest benefit for a mini split in our environment is for the cooling aspect for the mini split heat pumps. Our heating seasons are very long in Maine, but our cooling season is relatively short. So let's head out into the garage. So we get, a really nice garage that is full of stuff. That's a common situation in garages, mine included. They just catch stuff. You get two nice overhead doors. You got one with an automatic garage door opener. The other does not have one. One could be added, but because there is an outlet for it over there. But currently, one opens manually and one with an auto garage door opener. You got a man door on the front, and you got a man door over here going out into the backyard. So the only drywall that I could find on the structure at all was on this wall in the garage. And for those, armchair code enforcement officials that sometimes watch me on YouTube, it does have a nice steel fire door. So everything's up to code. But nice garage space. Now, I said I'll mention the good and the bad. So here's the bad. When they poured this floor 20 some odd years ago, I don't think they did a good job compacting the material under the concrete form. It has settled over the years, and you can see some cracking, and in places it's heaved up somewhat in places, and it's settled in others. So it's usable, but you might want to pour. I don't know. I'd hate to have to come in here and with a jackhammer take it all out. I'd like to think, and maybe there's somebody out there that does concrete work that could tell us all in the comments if there's room enough that a person could tie into this and pour a skim coat, that's a couple inches thick, because you've got exposed concrete over there. So you've got some room to play with. I think you could do that, but I'm not a concrete guy, so if there's someone out there that's watching that has done that sort of thing or could tell us what the fix is, put it in the comments. Appreciate it. So let's head inside and then go down into the basement. The basement is off the kitchen, and it's got a nice wide staircase, and there is a handrail in place. So again, all up to code. It's a wide open, fully poured concrete basement, and it's relatively dry. It does have a sump pump, I have heard the sump pump run and cycle a couple times while I've been here. This is spring in Maine. The ground is saturated from snow melt, and we've had a lot of rain here in the last week or so. So during those periods, having a sump pump is probably prudent. The owner told me that the hose here sprung a leak, because it's that flexible kind of hose, and that's why the floor here appears a little damper than it probably should. It's because it was spraying water, but he's repaired that. There was a little seepage here earlier in the spring when the ground was frozen. He noticed a little bit of water coming in here, but it didn't go very far. Most of the windows are actually all of the windows down here. They've covered up with foam insulation, make it a little warmer, a little tighter. Here's where your doghouse entry is. And I'll point out that this is where it is pressure treated here, where the house meets the concrete, which is what you want. Here's where your domestic water comes in. That's your pressure tank. Here's your hot water baseboard boiler. And I noticed there's no extra hot water tank here at all. So the domestic hot water comes off the boiler. Now, one thing I would do, if it were me, and I lived here, is I would, Maine has currently with Efficiency Maine, I'm pretty sure it's still going on, they subsidize the purchase of heat pump water heaters, which are very efficient electric water heaters. And if you lived here as a resident, the Efficiency Maine program would be available to you, and I would tie in to the domestic hot water line and utilize that hot water out of a heat pump water heater for, because I also noticed while I was here that he's running a dehumidifier down here, and the beautiful thing about a heat pump water heater is you get basically 2 units of work out of 1 unit of energy. You get dehumidification as well as hot water. I run a heat pump water heater at my house in the summertime, and it's powered off my solar panels, so my hot water is basically free in the summertime. But if I didn't run that, I would have a very humid basement. So heat pump water heaters are very good for that, especially in New England. So let's check out the rest of the mechanicals. Okay, so here's where your sewage line goes out to your septic tank. And I do have the plan. This is a 2-bedroom design with a 1,000-gallon concrete tank and leach field. Here's your 200 amp service entrance. And there's room in the panel if you wanted to run some more circuits. It is wired for a backup generator, and there is a portable generator in the garage that will convey with the house. It's a manual transfer switch, so in the event of a power outage, you would switch from the utility, which is called, here it's labeled road, to the generator, and then you could power the house. The generator that's up there, it's not enough to cook a turkey in the oven, because that's an electric range, or probably dry your clothes in a clothes dryer, but it's enough to stay warm and run water and run your lights, which is kind of how I manage my house. The sump pump is plumbed, and it goes underground and discharges. So you don't have to stick a hose out the window or anything. It goes right out, and the line is buried, and then it discharges out into the woods, which is really nice. So let's head back upstairs. So if you're in the market for a ranch-style home, and in particular a ranch-style log home in Maine, this is a great one. Coming to market at $315,000, 2-bedroom, 1.5 baths, situated on 3.38 surveyed acres in the town of Levant. Conveniently located to Bangor. You can be at Bangor International Airport in less than 20 minutes. And that's probably where you would probably do most of your shopping, although there are other options like in Corinth and other small communities that surround Levant. There are also farm stands here, because this is farm country when you're out here outside of Bangor. Levant, Charleston, Corinth, all those areas, you'll find farm fields and dairy cows and chickens, and you name it, you'll see it, which is great. So you're out here in the country, but convenient to Bangor, Maine. So you want to give Rick Theriault, your Maine real estate guide, a call at area code 207-731-9902.